Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Last time we wrapped up all of these weird mysteries, and today we're getting started on the trial, the defense trial of Wocky Kitaki. A lot of stuff happened, like stolen underwear and a stolen noodle stand, and this is weird. Let's just go. Huh. Mr. Wright's not here today? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Yes, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes Justice! I started my voice training at 5 this morning. Oh, do some now. I want to see. Here. Huh? Oh, okay. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training. I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? Good morning. Yo, sup? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I cannot remember if this was the voice I gave him. Not really. Wocky, don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between me and you, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can keep it real. Oh my god. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like they've both been voice training too, Apollo. My worst fear is realized. The trial's starting and I still haven't had a real talk with my client. You'll be fine. Phoenix dealt with worse. Quite often. Which was kind of sad in the grand scheme of things. Huh. Anyway. Court is now in session for the trial of Wocky Kitaki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I forgot the voice I gave him. I don't think it was German. But I know it was still sort of like Pegasus Light. Ready to rock and roll, Herr Judge. Ah, it's him! The guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor. It's Mr. Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence? You know, that little band I started in my free time. Thing is, we got real popular. Hard to say 9 to your fans when 3 of your singles go platinum, yeah? I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I know European people watching this must be livid at me for giving a sort of like fake British accent while also saying German words. Huh. I fear that you might still be distraught over that one trial. Not to worry, Herr Judge. I wouldn't miss this day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How can I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth canceling a show or two. He's so eager. Understood. You may give your opening statements to the court. Before that, I was thinking, is the air in this courtroom not a bit serious? It is a court of law. That's nowhere to get the crowd jumping, Herr Judge. They're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom. Achtung, baby. Today we play it my way. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get on... God. Sometimes you have to get on up in order to get down to prosecuting. This is just crazy. The victim, Paul Maractis, director of the Maractis Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand. What in the world was a doctor doing pulling a noodle stand? Yes, I believe. You only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it's an undeniable truth that he shot the victim. What do you mean undeniable? If you are to glare at anyone here, Justice, glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see. Very well. Please admit this witness to the court. Wasn't expecting that. 9. Not yet. First, there's a little matter to be cleaned up. Could you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see the guitar for a second. What is it, Prosecutor Gavin? The motive, Herr Judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of the Maractis clinic? Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that. Oh? But what if the defendant specifically requests to do so, as he did this morning? I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said. What? What is right? They always say that on stage. You should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he got you good, huh, Polly? Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, you, son, are the defendant. Wocky, are you? I ain't your son, old man. You step to a Kitaki, you best be prepared to step strong. You step to a public official, you best be prepared to step into Yale. You got to hand it to him. Wocky sure has guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about. Well then, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself. Wocky Kitaki's truth. I'll tell you one thing, the doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about half a year ago, he messed up my OP something bad. Or op, rather. And then he just lets me go, without a word, see you later, bye. So I gotta go in, get another doctor to patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his pad that night, know what I'm saying? You're saying you were one of the victim's patients? A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that. I hate him so much. I'll tell you one thing, the doc was whack. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all of this. Wocky Kitaki's truth. Okay. He was a quacker. Show him what's what. Then his claim about half a year ago, he messed up my op something bad. Press? So you were a patient at the Maractis clinic half a year ago. For what reason? I had what you might call a Markavana. Can you explain precisely what was wrong? You had a little run-in with the rivals family. That's when I pulled a jack move. God, I cannot believe they're actually getting the lingo right too. It ran into an ambush. She busted a cap right in me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time, by yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys. So you were carried to the Maractis clinic from there? Apparently he was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart and he's still alive? I can catch bullets between my teeth. I never learned how to catch them with my heart. The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? Would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you said, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it. Holmes. Oh my god, I thought it was honest from him. It was Holmes. So we go without a word, see you later, bye-bye. What? That doesn't even make sense. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? Swag, that's what. I'm not sure what that means. Sounds bad. Sounds as though Herr Doctor wished to hide his mistake. That is why he let the defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. He's a better G than me. Gotta go in, get another doctor, patch me up again. So he botched the surgery to remove the bullet. Okay. So this bullet is still... You know what? I can still feel it. Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart. Converts are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles. Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice. Word, J-Man. Weren't no accident, that's for shizzle. Seems that there were issues with this doctor. Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Wocky, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Shut up, Apollo. Back straight. But why did this mistake only come to light that day? It was found during the family health checkup. The family checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All his G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than fade away, bazoy. A relief to hear. Eh? What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes, Herr Dr. Maractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life. No way, that's whacked. There is proof. Your checkup report. Okay, can I read that real quick? Ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. When did he get... He got shot half a year ago. Why is... Checkup performed in June. Metallic object found near heart. Team report filed June 14th. Metallic object found near heart. Urgent exam needed. What? You're almost as careless as he was. Well, now that the place is hopping, let's get this gig started. Started? We've had enough of a warm-up act, y'all. Time to hear from the witness. Wocky sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy? Who? In the bluest of blue... Okay, so, you will tell us your name and occupation. My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, I take you mean the professor largely supports a livelihood under which definition I must confess to being unemployed. However, we must acknowledge the meaning of identity, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation. And once we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not gestalt per se, but derives itself from the vagueness inherent in all representations of thought. By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in pursuit of truth, honing my... Herr Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today. Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. You ask, quite simplistically, what I saw. However, we must understand that Homo sapiens possess two eyes designed to receive and interpret data, sending images in the form of signals to the brain. Okay. I don't like him. That night I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling the stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. He was pointing at the man pulling the stand. A shot. The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Was there anyone else in the park at that time? I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not. I feel like I'm going through like these voices like so much, as I'm reading, but I'm just trying to get a feel for things, slide into something that I'll stick with, you know. The pistol our witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. One moment, we're going to check this here pistol. 2 rounds were fired, fingerprints were wiped. I'm handling myself around guns. Mesh guns, at least. Ones that pigeons come out of. Very reassuring. Okay. But I just want to check some. Do we have an autopsy? Yes. Single bullet to the right temple. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pointing a stand. The man facing him. Saw him quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. He saw this at night. How can you be so sure it was the defendant? The crime took place at night. It would have been too dark. Perhaps I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier. Huh? You see, in class I always sit in the very backmost seat. Do you know why? Who cares? Because I do not wish anyone to copy my perfect notes. And this relates to your testimony, how? I mentioned this to illustrate my predisposition to that which is perfect. It was dark, you say, yet there are lights in the park. If I say the defendant was in the park that night, then he was in the park that night. It is a hard, immutable fact. He sure is confident. Seems to be telling the truth, too. His hand he held, yes, a pistol was pointed at the man pulling the stand. But wait. I can't check his age right now. This dude is weird. Press? Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same as the one just submitted as evidence? Am I sure? Surely you jest. Or so a common witness would be tempted to say. Huh? Yet I am no common witness. I see not only events as they are, but the logical structure governing these events. First, we must consider the fact that it was night in the park, which indeed restricted my field of vision to insufficient levels of illumination. Now, if we would consider that the pistol, let us call it Object A, was indeed shrouded in darkness, it becomes difficult to say with certainty that Object A was indeed Object A. I think it means he couldn't see it that clearly. A badge for a normal witness. Yet the fact that the pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see it when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon. A shot. But the man plunged stand from the front, square in the forehead. Are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired? Yes, of course it was one shot. Why do you ask? Aha, contradiction, finally. Mr. Stickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice. Clear contradiction. Good eyes, Herr Justice. You're cool. Real cool. Eh? You really think so? Yet there was no reason why the other shot had to have been fired that night. Meaning? This pistol came from the Kitaki family mansion, y'all. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the pistol had been fired once before that night. During, perhaps, another altercation? He's got a point. Judging from his smug expression, I say Prosecutor Gavin had that answer ready before you even spotted the problem. Seems pretty confident in his testimony. We always make the biggest mistakes when we're our most confident. He He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it. Right, better give that testimony another listen. Well then, let's press on everything. 'Cause I got nothing. On the way home from shopping, you say. Why go through the park? Oh, fascinating inquiry. Feeling me culpable of being officially verbose. Let's consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time, I am capable of solving 2 GMAT problem sets. On average, it requires me 3 minutes 24 seconds to complete one such set. Ergo, the time to complete 2 is on average 6 minutes 48 seconds. However, in the case that the questions are on the verbal category, admittedly not... That's enough. Enough, I get the idea. Mr. Justice, court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month. Please, I have a recording booked after this trial. And I've got a show to perform. Gee, sir, you're all so busy. I'm pulling a stand, another man facing him. Yep. Were these men talking by any chance? Oh, now that you mention it. They were, though I cannot claim I heard them clearly. Only fragments, such as you lied to me. Oh, and I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, pal. It's just as our defendant claims. I believe he wished to teach the victim that what it felt like to take a bullet in the heart. If that's true, then this is a vital piece of testimony. Sounds like he heard them clearly enough to me. Might I be allowed to amend my testimony? What now? To be precise, he did not say pal, but man. Yes, that was the way of... Blah, 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 blah. Yes, that was the way of it, I swear it on my diploma. What's the difference? And this other man, who was he? Clearly the man facing the victim was the defendant. Pulling the stand. A shot, the bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front. I already got that one. I got nothing for this. Oh, wait a minute. He's prizing himself on having a perfect testimony. This is a blatant technicality. But it wasn't square in the forehead. It was to the right temple. Phew. That's all of it. I think I have a chance. Is that you? Relaxing? I see here, Justice. Huh? Oh, him. Objection! Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice. Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right. Look at this. The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right. A problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the entry wound. Location? You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simple, really. First, understand that when I say square, I speak not of geometrical absolute. What do I mean by this? For example, the defection of, oh my god, the wavelength of light emitted by a krypton particle, as we all know. In addition, is a well-known fact that krypton particles are rare and invisible to the naked eye, which points to a basic fallacy in your line of reasoning, namely that... Mr. Justice? Yes. Was your objection to these, krypton particle things? This is the big time and you're obsessed with something so small. You disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. This is, like, rapidly getting away from me. I am having trouble keeping up. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple. The temple? Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally!
Objection!
Hair Justice? Oh, Hair Justice. Yes. Your tactics are outdated, trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago? Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to his testimony. Hey, hair forehead. Forehead? I just imagine you're walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with the pistol trained on the other. What would you do, hair forehead? Well, I guess I'd try to stop them. I'd probably shout, "Stop!" And you, Fraulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream, "Eek!" And you, Hair Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? If the victim turned his head at the last moment... Oh yes, thank you for jogging my memory. Sounds like... It sounds likes, okay? An addendum to the testimony is required. Night in the Park 2. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two!" I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. I see. So you attempted to stop the crime. Indeed, with composure. Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let's consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report. That does seem to be the case. Witness the power of a junior in Ivy's... Oh my god, in Ivy University's Department of Science. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness. I raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two," I cried with composure. Victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Upon our cowardly killer, the defendant appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Press on that. You didn't try to apprehend the criminal? It all happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't the time. Does it something about that strike you as odd, Apollo? What? The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away. According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes. In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find. Find something? Find what? I like that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go. Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now? At least the testimony's getting a little clearer. She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. what would have been left? This was at the scene, but what does that matter? Okay, I'm gonna press him on this other stuff. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly? He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shocked, he panicked, a common tale, but true. Unfortunately, before I could take further action, tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned? Indeed, I would say about the same time to be precise. And the victim didn't ask you for help? It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step. I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him. Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Just press on everything then. So you saw a raised pistol. Weren't you frightened? It can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw the pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action. That was certainly brave of you. Wait a minute. Screen was going dark. Okay. You might have gotten shot. Huh? You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind. He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed. Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice? They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park. And the victim responded to that clarion call. Quite. What do I present here? Okay, going back to what she was saying, like, if that's the case, I would have expected to find something that we didn't find. So, is that the fact that we found this at the scene of the crime, but not the gun? I mean, this isn't it. Okay. Well, I gotta be a little more careful here. That one was careless. What? As you... The only thing I can think of is the fact that they had this, but I guess they could have said they removed it from the crime scene to check for prints. Oh, but no, because the Shiv, it has his prints, but fingerprints were wiped from this. So yeah, his prints should be on here. And since he said, like, oh, he tossed it and fled, he wouldn't have time to have wiped them off. Objection! Okay. Wait a second. Tisk, tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that? A single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes, 35 seconds, Mr. Justice... Yes, Your Honor. You might understand you are objecting to the length of a second. Yes, I mean, no! Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. A common ploy made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed a gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints. Got him. The little girl sticking to the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little. Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein? Eh? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo. He wasn't. Well, Mr. Justice? Could the killer have been wearing gloves? No. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained. I mean, yeah, you have that, and the fact that we found something at the scene of the crime that had fresh prints on them, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds solid to me. Val Hair Forehead, any of your precious objections? What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restarted what he saw just now, he said he saw Wocky drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Wocky threw away. You're right. He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed true that once in my youth I wrote a book seized by the teacher of all the book, to see the appellation for my name. Oh my god, couldn't even keep up with that one. What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this? Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. Sounds like somebody has a man crush. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else? What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? Oh, well, that one's easy. Yeah. Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movie last night. Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it. His prints? The single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Oh, hair forehead? You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Wocky Kitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh. Indeed. Never underestimate a Gavin is the lesson here. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it will behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please. It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming! Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet, here you are assuming that my assumption is no better. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. Judge is getting done with his BS. From shot to call. I like that. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Why didn't you chase the killer? He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when he... or blah blah blah. Yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Does it not, Mr. Justice? I better find a way to take this testimony down quick. Alright, from shot to call. Let's do this. Press everything, why not? Which way did the killer run? By that time it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. I mean, he ran in the opposite direction from the Kitaki mansion. Aktung, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight. How did he know that's where I was going? I would simply leave the scene in good conscience. You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor. Oh, cool answer. Very cool. So nothing strange about how he acted. Trissy looks like she has something to say. What is it, Trucy? Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite. He actually looks like he's going to cry. Is he the one that stole her underwear? There's some things beginning to fall together. He said he had his phone. We do have a cell phone. Trucy said he looks familiar, but there's no other way he could have come into play other than stealing underwear. Phone was found with the underwear. And he's an eyewitness. And she's just looking more and more pissed off. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction. Is that all? No one came, nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing. It was late at night. It's not odd to think that there would be few people around in the park. So he just stood there, watching. Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means, say it. Can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, hair forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit? No! The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I will amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. Very well, you may continue with the cross-examination. Shit, I got nothing. Yeah, because you can't... All you can do is press. Like, I don't have anything on any one of these. That's true. Or rather, we can't prove it. Or disprove it, rather. Yeah. We can't disprove that either. This one is way too self-assured. There's gotta be a weakness somewhere in this testimony. But that only... The decision, or the choice only popped up when I pressed on this. Maybe I do have to give up? Oh, that's new. Some of us have glamorous careers we'd like to get back to this month. Hair, forehead. You don't have enough to put Wocky away yet. Should I back off for now? Okay, well, the fact that you say that... Alright, there's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. No! Seems we come to the end of the line here. No, it can't be all. It can't be. Is it? Unfortunate. Seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Where are you, hair forehead? Apollo, you told me they don't have enough to put Wocky away. Did I just get a game over? I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Wocky Kitaki. What? What? Can't say I was expecting that. Trucy? Nobody move. What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet. Wait, are you one of the Kitakis? The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of... Yeah, Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess. 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. Wait, how did he disappear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo. Suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man. What is going on? But then Trucy saying Apollo? Did she fake someone? I don't know what's going on. What, was that a trick? Is there... What? I don't... I'm confused. I guess next time we continue the trial. I thought I was On something? I don't know what's happening. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you next time for some more Let's Play Phoenix Wright. Or not, no. Apollo Justice. Ace Attorney. I'm confused. And befuddled. And, dare I say, at a loss. Hopefully next time we get some answers. Goodbye.